Here we go. The first game of the Vegas Vault Tour, round one. We have Nathan versus Devin slash Flaming Hobo. Devin is the Gen Con sealed Vault Tour winner, and unfortunately Nathan was his first round opponent. That's how they ended up here. Anyways, we've got Nathan's sweet looking deck of Brobnar, Logos, Shadows, Halfax, the artistic Treasury Wrestler, versus H. Svendsen, Bergolan's Cold Butcher. Sure, I can't pronounce things. Anyways, immediately in Nathan's deck, I see the triple Gengar Chieftain, triple Ganymede Archivist, double Ghostly Hand, double Poison Wave, double Shadow Self. Lots of duplication over there, so there's a lot of things he can rely on. Two Smiths are pretty sweet. Let's see, with 18 creatures, so he should have a pretty reasonable time, although it's getting the Smiths to trigger. Although Devin's 18 creatures is going to make that a little bit hard to keep up with, especially considering Devin has sweet sideboard tech of King of the Crag, which is going to put a lot of hurt on Halfax. So Devin loves the sweet combo of using King of the Crag to reduce 5 power Brobnar creatures to 3 or less, so the Earthshakers will actually do a lot of work here. So they are just now, we can see them swapping deck lists for the first time. So they've done their bans, and now they've picked their decks, and they're going to review each other's deck list one last time. And so that will give us an opportunity to go over the decks that they're going to play in the first round. Other interesting things, Coward's End is a board wipe. I don't think there were a lot of large body decks, and board wipes seem to be banned pretty heavily. So it's interesting to see one make it through. Other stuff, Time Traveler is great, and I guess double Poison Waves. Custom Office is interesting. It looks like the only form of artifact control that Nathan has. And on Devin's side, he's got a nice suite of witches, actually the full suite, 2 full moons and a key charge, so there is a lot of potential amber burst from him. 22 expected amber to 18. Barehanded doesn't look like it's going to do a lot of work against Nathan. One Last Job with 6 creatures should be able to steal pretty alright. Double Nerve Blast will do okay. Yeah. Oddly enough, I guess Nathan's amber control is a little bit stronger through the Pile of Skulls, and Handshake, I think they do a mulligan, but I'm going to turn these off and we can go to the game. Here we go. Boop. And bam. So what happens? As you see, the chat from the stream is still there. Please enjoy. Thank you everybody who followed. Back then I turned off all notifications during tournaments, and I think I'm going to keep doing that just because I want the streams to be about tournaments and not about like followers and stuff that I gain. Anyways, I really appreciate everyone who followed during the tournament. Looks like Devin threw back a hand, decided to mulligan against the hand that had double Earthshaker in it, which makes sense. He's definitely wants to play into the King of the Crag combo. Yep, so looks like Nathan's pretty happy with his hand. We will find out what it is shortly. Here we go. Game is officially starting with Devin going first. Interesting choices. There was a Witch of the Eye in his opening hand. Not necessarily you want to start with. Headhunter, Troll. Troll's maybe a good choice to start building up a big board and push Nathan towards fighting, so he can set up with a devastating Earthshaker, King of the Crag. All right, so Nathan has a good answer here with the Moon Cursor, but oddly plays a bad penny. Devin, if he fights with the Earthshaker, Headhunter there is a great, or not. You know what? He's just gonna be like, you know what? Here's a bunch of witches. Good luck. You can't fight next turn. And yeah, so that Witch of the Eye is going to allow him to pseudo lock out Nathan for a couple turns if it doesn't die here, getting back that Nocturnal Maneuvers to keep all of Nathan's creatures tapped down. Nathan is in a bit of a pinch here. He's got to have something out of hand to deal with this, or else it's just going to end poorly for him. There we go. That's a good answer with a Gengar Chieftain to fight the Moon Cursor into... Which one does he fear more? He's going for the Hunting Witch. Does not want Devin to get back, be able to generate Amber just from playing creatures. It's a bit of a strange choice considering the Witch of the Eye can just get back the Hunting Witch, but if Devin doesn't have any other untamed creatures to pull back, maybe it's not that bad. Nathan also discards an important piece of Amber control with the Burn the Stockpile, because unfortunately he drew it too early for it to actually be effective. Devin's considering his choices. Here we go. Great answer to Moon Cursor with a Relentless Whispers. Gains 1 Amber and steals 1 because it destroyed a creature. Devin goes up to 2 Amber there. Archon, unfortunately, doesn't steal anything with a Silent Dagger. Should be interesting. Silent Dagger deals 4 damage when it reaps. It's not quite enough to kill the Gengar Chieftain, but it will severely punish Nathan for keeping that bad penny out on the flank. Let's see, Devin also has one of his full moons in hand, so he could have a cool turn of reaping to get back the Hunting Witch and full moon into something, but I didn't see too many other untamed creatures in there, so you might have to wait. All right. Nathan responds with an Effervescent Principle, causing Devin to lose 2 Amber, and nothing else. Ganymede Archivist, number 1 comes down. Research Smoko comes down, and Ganymede Archivist number 2. All right, so Nathan is setting up for a lot of card advantage here. Devin pretty much needs to respond in a way that will take care of those Archivists. All right, he decides that Brobnar is the best way to go about it. Gains 1 Amber, takes 3 damage from the Headhunter fight. What else has he got for us to take care of this issue? Troll and King of the Crag. Here he is. He's just, the board is mine. Good luck. Gengar Chieftain fights Troll into 2nd Archivist. Takes 3 damage, and fortunately, if he comes back to Brobnar, he'll be able to heal that away. Plays his barehanded, noticing that Nathan didn't have too many artifacts. It's not very important for him, or going to be extremely disruptive to Nathan, so it's not worth holding on here. Nathan's turn comes around. He has 1 of every house on the board, so no matter what, he gets to use a creature. It's probably not a Logo's turn considering how many he just played. Let's see. What can we... I can't spot anything out of his hand right now. Devin is sitting on a Murmuk and a Lumir Flame Fist, which is probably not going to do anything for a while. And his full moon, so that's 2 Amber plus the Murmuk if the Witch of the Eye lives and gets back the Hunting Witch in his yard still. Alright, Nathan has committed to a house. He's playing Brobnar, fights the Research Smoko into the Headhunter to kill it and archive the top card of his deck. A reasonable choice. And then Headhunter number 2 fights Troll to get that off the board. He just does... Oh, nope, right. Because all of his Brobnar creatures are -3 in... or 3 and 2 in power. So only dealing 2 damage to the Troll, bringing it down to 5. And it looks like Nathan forgot about that. Coward's End. He was hoping to kill everything there. But at least he got rid of that King of the Crag. And he still has some Brobnar creatures to deal with this stuff. Or actually not anything. I'm not sure why I said that. Thank you, Brooks, for your help while I was away. I was a little dumb and didn't realize that I should put out the microphone on the table for round 1, but here we are. Murmuk comes down, gains 1. So what else do you got in your hand, Devin? That means you go to Untamed. Oh yeah, the Vigor will gain 2 Amber here. Sweet. Brings the Troll back into a single reap to fully heal. And a Key Charge. Perfect. Goes up to exactly 7. And gets the first key. Meanwhile, Nathan's sitting on the other side of the board with 0 Amber. And his key cost is increased by 1. Alright, Earthshaker, Regrowth, Full Moon. Alright, so the Regrowth is another way to get back the Hunting Witch and play off another big combo turn. Nathan's custom office, plays out Bad Penny again next to a Shadow Self. And so now the Shadow Self is protecting a Bad Penny and a Naughty. While I agree with the Naughty, the Bad Penny is an interesting choice here. I didn't see too many things in his deck list that could use the Bad Penny, but maybe he knows something I don't. I would definitely want like something like a Pawn Sacrifice if I was going to make a play like that. Here we go. Devin goes back to Brobnar, uses Troll to Reap, goes back up to full health. Earthshaker destroys all 3 power 3-less creatures, so it just totally ignores Shadow Self. One of the things he valued in Earthshaker. We were talking about that beforehand. Lumiere comes down, does nothing, but 3 Brobnar creatures, what is Nathan's Shadow Self going to do? Reap for 1 is not big. Unfortunately, Devin draws his second Earthshaker here, so definitely won't get as much value off as the first one did. Well, maybe something close, considering there was only 2 Shadows creatures the first one got. Here we go. Back to Nathan. What's he thinking about? He's looking at his archive card. He's going for back to Shadows. He's always got that Bad Penny in his hand. It's weird. He just keeps coming back to Bad Penny. But whatever. Reap for 1. Play a Bad Penny. Just grind Devin out slowly, 1 damage at a time, maybe. I'm not sure what the game plan is, but that's what he's doing. Perfect timing for a Ghostly Hands. Steals 1 from Devin, gains 2, goes up to 4 Amber. And is that his turn? Play Bad Penny, play Ghostly Hands? What are you building up in your hand? Nope. I spoke too soon. Here comes card number 3 in Shadows. What's he doing? What's he protecting? Ooh, Magda the Rat. That's a good one to protect. Although, I guess Devin had no Amber, so that's a big risk right there. Even with Shadow Self, that might just be... Wow, Nathan is just... Maybe he sees the writing on the wall, and that Devin is just so far ahead, and he just needs to have a better long-term plan. Yeah, this is really dangerous. The Mesa's Asp can kill the Shadow Self, and then Dodger just gets free fights against the Magda, the Steel, until it dies. And Nathan is really in a tough spot right here. He probably really wants that Coward's End. Find a way to... That Coward's End won't even do a lot of work here, because he's got to get rid of that Shadow Self first to protect the Magda. He could have double Poison Wave, which will kill the Asp and the Dodger, or make the Dodger ineffective in fighting for the most part. It'll get rid of the Naughty, so that's pretty good. It will sink 8 points. It'll just kill a Shadow Self. Oh, this is going to be tough for him. I'm not really sure what his game plan here is. I'm sure he's got something going on. All right, Time Traveler is always a good way to do it. He's just going up to hopefully draw into a second Logos card with an Amber Pip, going to check by +1 by +2 at least. So he can forge through the Dodger and the Naughty. Plays the Lab Work to archive a card from his hand. So it gets the 6. Archivist, number 3 comes down, and that's it. Okay, so I wonder what Devin values here. He can use the Asp. He can go Asp fights Shadow Self. Dodger fights Magda. So Dodger can go and kill it. That'll basically the same Steel 2 value. Or he's just, you know what? He doesn't care about your board. I don't care. It doesn't do anything. Your best reap effect is the Archivist. I'm just going to reap here, gain 3, and play out more big Brobnar stuff. Ooh, or not. Here's a Relentless Assault. That's going to murder just about everything on the board. Oh yeah, right? He gets to fight with 3 non-Brobnar creatures too, if he wants. So first fights Asp into Shadow Self. Then fights Dodger into Magda. Steals 1. Nathan's no longer in check. And then Troll fights Magda. Steals 2. Takes 4 points of damage, which is not a big deal. It could just reap that away. Still has 4 hit points left, which is bigger than anything that Nathan has on the board. So you have to commit both his Archivist and his Time Traveler into to the troll to get rid of it. Earthshaker comes down and just clears the whole board. Jeez. Nathan is sitting at 3 amber to Devin's 3 and a key. And Devin's... Wow, he just discards his Screech Bomb. Oh, right, because he doesn't want to pay one to the customs office. Wow. So, yeah, Devin's just sitting with a sweet Braggart board. Nathan's sitting at nothing, under a lot of pressure to catch up here. It's going to be a tough one for him to come back from this. But, you know, Keyforge is a swinging game. He could do it. Wouldn't take too much work. But it will definitely be a long shot. Yeah, I'm really sorry about the glare. We did everything we could to try and put the glare in places where it wasn't that important. So yeah, Nathan goes into a library access turn, plays Help from Future Self, sweet, draws a card off of playing it, searches his discard pile and deck for the time traveler that's in his discard pile, shuffles his deck so that Help from Future Self is the only card left in it. Or sorry, shuffles his discard pile and his deck together. Then he gets to play the time traveler and basically draw 3 cards and get another amber, going up to 5. And he's got a really good chance of drawing back into like the lab work or something else that can gain him an amber, go back up into check. He still has to worry about the Dodger steal one if Devin wants to really aggressively defend against Nathan's first key. Archivist comes down, draws his 5th card, I guess, off of the library, or 5th card this turn. Another Archivist comes down, draws 6th card. 3rd Archivist comes down. Oh boy, this might be it. This is a good way to get back in the game. Just archive the best huge, gigantic hand that you can build, and that's where it ends. Not a bad library access turn, but it didn't get him into check, which is a little unfortunate. Devin forges his 2nd key here for 6 amber. All right. He's like, how are you on key 2? I've only got 5 amber right now. And Devin's like, yeah, I'm sorry. But, you know, that's the game. Devin's got a Poison Wave, which isn't going to quite do enough here. Poison Wave Dodger to kill an Archivist. Maybe, yeah. All right, fights the Archivist, steals 1, takes 3 points of damage. Poison Wave kills it. Kills the Time Traveler. Doesn't sound that worth it. Maybe he could be setting up something else. All right, Relentless Whispers. Puts 2 points of damage on the Archivist. Steals another one. Sitting at 2 amber and 2 keys. All right, one last job. Perfect. He gets to purge every shadows creature he controls and steals 1 for that, and also gains 1 for playing the card. So that puts him up at 4 amber. Poison Wave comes down. His Dodger's already gone, so it doesn't matter. Gains another amber. I think that puts him at 5 for the turn. If Devin has 1 more point of amber in his hand, then he can just go to check again. Does he have it? Nope, that's it. All right, so Nathan has a break here. This is basically your last shot to play impactful creatures or maybe impactful artifacts, or else, and then you're just stuck to like Shadows actions. Maybe a Dodger, maybe a Naughty would be sweet here, but you're just basically stuck in Shadows. Maybe he can try and cycle back around, dig real quick to get the Effervescent Principle again. Might not be too bad. I mean, Devin can play around, burn the stockpile pretty easily here. Just keep going to 6 every time. Or try and make a big jump up to 10. Shouldn't be too hard with the Mighty Javelin in his hand. And rape for 4 with the Brobnar. Shadow Self comes down. Alright, he decides that he's got... Alright, Shadow Self Umbra is a good way to steal 1 every turn, so long as Devin doesn't go too far up, too high. I think Devin could just reap here. He can make... So he's got Hunting Witch in his yard and a Full Moon and the Witch of the Wild. So he can generate 1 from the regrowth, 2 from the witch. That doesn't sound, and 1 from the hunting witch. So that's 4 amber here. That's not bad. He decides that Brobnar is good enough for him. Just gonna go up to 6 amber if I counted correctly. Or sorry, go up to discards the javelin. Okay. So if I counted correctly, he should be at 9 amber now. Which will let Nathan stay in the game with a burn the stockpile. I could have miscounted. It's his only out here. What's he got? Alright, that's a good draw. Pile of skulls. He needs to be able to fight. Maybe a relentless assault. Lomir. Alright. I totally forgot about the Lomir. Ganger Chieftain. Fight. Sweet. Not gonna do enough in this case to be able to capture Amber. Or no, yeah, never mind, I'm wrong. I forgot how Pile of Skulls works. Captures one onto any creature you like after a creature your opponent controls dies. Alright, and he does it again. Cool, great. Nathan actually took Devin off of a key. Puts another one onto the Ganymede Archivist. Sounds a little risky. Oh, Devin's got a Chota. So Nathan just bursts up with his Smith. This is kind of what this deck's game plan is. Use Brobnar to control the board, slow things down. Make sure you have a bigger creature and use your 2 Smiths to gain 6 amber. Then he uses Anger to fight. Gains 1 off the Anger. Fight the Archivist. Alright, just wants to kill all of Devin's stuff. Make sure you can't just root for 4 every turn. Makes sense instead of stealing one with the... I can see that line instead of stealing one with the Umbra. Alright, so Devin really wants to... If Devin can kill the Archivist and play Chota in the same turn, that will be the game. Full Moon? Oh yeah, Full Moon, Regrowth, Hunting Witch. Gain 1 for the Regrowth. Looks like he's at 4 now? I could be wrong. I'm very sorry about the clear. Plays Hunting Witch. Gains 1 for Full Moon. Plays Witch of the Wilds. Gains 2, 1 Hunting Witch and 1 Full Moon trigger. Plays Chota. Gains however much you needed. That's another 2 amber. It's probably enough right there by itself. And that's game. Good job, Devin. Here we go. Here are the decks that they play in game 2. Nathan switches to an AOA deck, which is the first time on stream for Voltor Vegas, versus Devin's infamous, at least in the SoCal area, Sov. So, Nathan is playing Omeblaze, Nebula-Kierk, Braggart. Sure. Man, I'm terrible at these names. And versus Devin's Sov, Zopit, Tzolvin. Sure. Let's go with that. Anyways, we got here so the AOA deck's got some spicy stuff in it. Proclamation, Proclamation, Bear Joya, Bod the Grim, Armorsmith, Orm of Gorm, Spirit's Way, Gatekeeper. Lots of good board control, lots of good amber control in Sanctum. And then you have has triple Exhume, which is going to do probably good work with the double Schuler and Hecatomb. Or if he really needs to, he can Schuler up the Gatekeeper. Or sorry, Exhume up the Gatekeeper. So with the Proclamation, he really wants to try and find ways to keep Devin's creature count down. Fortunately for him, Sov has only 13 creatures in it. So it'll be difficult for Devin to forge through the Proclamation. And Devin's amber control in Sov is limited to the Gorm, his own Gorm of Orm. So if he can't find that early and Nathan gets the Proclamation out, it might be difficult. This actually might be a difficult matchup for Devin. Aside from that, expected amber control is they're about equal on amber control, and the expected amber is a lot higher for Devin for Sov, along with the full moon. Along with the key charge and the Chota. Devin has a lot of ability to forge it out of turn, and along with his, I think Yep, nope. Devin is the only one with the doorstep, and so he has the best answer to punishing for burst. It looks like he's the only one who plans on doing it this turn, this game. Also, to Devin's advantage is the Glorious Few in his deck versus the 18 creatures in his opponent's deck versus his 13. So he should be able to make at least 3. I'm going to guess 3 if he does play that card, how much he makes off of that. Let's see, what else? Let's talk about the AoE stuff. We've got some cool stuff. I guess the Exhumes also have great targets in the Igor and Helperbot. And Yerk, maybe if you're really desperate to cycle for something. Hysteria is another good way to replay those creatures. Devin doesn't seem to have too many enter the battlefield effects that he wants to reuse. And looks like the game is about to start, so I'm going to hide these decks once again, and we'll just see what happens. Oh, I'm missing something. Devin starts the game off with a Snufflegator. And he's got Dust Pixie, Nocturnal Maneuvers. Oh, Nathan's off to a good start. With 4 creatures on the board to give his... wow, there's so many good things about Nathan's board. I love archiving, so the Librarian's going to actually be effective here. Barrister is going to make it difficult for Devin to capitalize on the Snufflegator. The Archimedes is hopefully going to allow Nathan to get a second use out of the... there it is. There's second use out of the Helper Bot, and there it is. There's 3 Amber Pips, or 3 Amber for Devin off the Glorious Few on turn 2. Doorstep doesn't do anything. I'm totally wrong about Barrister. It allows fighting to happen, so he's still gonna get full use out of the Snufflegator that he wants. Fights. Ooh, this is a tough choice. He could just put some damage on the Barrister here. I'm not sure Roncho actually cares about reaping, but okay, yeah. I was thinking maybe it's worth it to get rid of the Librarian here, just so next turn he doesn't get the reap out of it, or get the archive effect. Force him to go back into Logos, and hopefully he doesn't have another Logos creature, because he definitely ran out that last round. But yeah. Anyways, pretty good turn for Devin. Plays out 3 Sanctum cards, goes up 4 Amber. Continues just to race Nathan with his deck. Challenges Nathan to find answers. I think that's a Hysteria in Nathan's hand right now, which actually sounds pretty bad. What else can we tell about Nathan's deck, or what Nathan's planning? Archives a card off of a lab work. Or I'm wrong. Sorry, I looked away for a second. He's doing stuff. All right, he plays a Neferu, and color subordinations on the Zakiel, which is kind of interesting. He definitely can use that card, and I can see why you would want to pick that over the Snufflegator. And plays Binding Irons to give Devin 3 chains. Sounds good to me. And then discards the Hysteria. Yeah, definitely has the leading board position here. Doesn't want to upset that. Setting up for a good Sanctum turn. Now he's gone through his Logos and his Dis. He hopefully has a good... he should have a couple of Sanctum cards in his hand here. Devin, pretty calm. He's not too worried about big boards. He's got, I forget, 2 or 3 Lost in the Woods if he really cared about a board like this. And those are obviously more powerful at the start of the game than end the game. So he goes into Untamed. Picks, kills off the Barrister, plays Dust Pixie, Nocturnal Maneuvers, taps down the 2 creatures that he doesn't want, taps down the creatures that Archimedes is protecting, so they can't just go and crash in and give Nathan extra Amber Pips for without the cost. Devin loses one of his chains down to 5 cards. He needs to find a solution to Archimedes, at least an efficient one. He could go into Untamed again, which is going to be rough on him. If he does draw Lost in the Woods, it might not be too terrible because he gets to put his Dust Pixie back in. Looks like he's got at least the Ghostly Hands. Alright, Nathan goes into Logos. Plays his Igor out. Lets him look at the top 3 cards of his decks, put 1 into his hand and the rest into his discard pile. He's carefully considering what's going to happen. I think I saw a Gatekeeper. So maybe he's considering next turn he's expecting Devin to jump up to over 7. So we can capture all of it. Nope. He looks like he misread Igor because you don't have to reveal the card that you keep. So Devin knows that there's a Schuler coming, so he has to get up to 7 amber now. Maybe it was bait. Maybe he has something else. I forget what. Maybe like a Drumble or something to try and push Devin over that 6 line. Curator comes down, which unfortunately seems like some poor sequencing. He could have got his Quantum Finger Snap out ready and used it for who knows what, but good stuff. Plays a Cutthroat Research, which steals 2 if your opponent's at 8 or more. So yeah, Nathan's deck seems to be really based on his Proclamation and forcing his opponent to go over 6. And he's probably just trying to dig deep for that right now. He uses Archimedes to fight the oh, okay, I see. Fight the nope, never mind, I don't see. Fight the Dust Pixie. Discards his Standardized Testing. I thought he was trying to make a play there to make sure the Standardized Testing hit more Devin's creatures, but Devin's creatures, the 2 of his creatures doesn't really matter. So Devin gained 1 off of the Neferu, goes up to 7 probably. Huh. Yeah, that glare is absolutely terrible for his clear Amber tokens. Forges his first key. Alright, now he's doesn't need to worry about too much. Hidden Stash. Archives a card. Looks like Oath of Poverty, maybe? I don't know that. Maybe that was an upgrade. Protect the Weak. Plays out... That would... plays out a 1 last job. Just gains 1 amber with nothing to purge. Nerve Blast. Deal 2 damage to a creature and steal 1, obviously getting rid of the Archimedes, so the Snufflegator is free to go murder stuff. Not necessarily that he wants to do that, considering the Neferu, but he can now... He could have murdered the Neferu if he wanted with the Snufflegator, but he's slowly working his way through those Binding Irons. Devin looks like he's still sitting on a pile of amber. Alright, Nathan's turn. Still struggling to make use of his large board. Devin's doing a good job managing it. He does have 4 creatures he could reap with in Logos and just try to race Devin's 1. But with all the Amber Pips on Devin's card, he doesn't need his creatures to race them. That might be a little underestimation. So maybe that's what Devin's thinking, or that's what Nathan's thinking here. He does get the Titan Librarian trigger every turn. So maybe I think maybe he needs to find that Proclamation. That was really his game plan, and his deck is suffering because he doesn't have it. I don't remember if he mulliganed or not at the start of the game, but who knows? All right, yeah, here's the Schuler he showed Devin. Steals 1, goes to 5. Plays another Schuler, steals 2, goes to 6. Reaps with Neferu, or maybe you keep the Neferu because he had the bigger board. Force Devin to kill your creatures, but again, triple Lost in the Woods, doesn't care about Neferu. Searches discard pile. He probably has an Exhume that he's thinking about playing. What does he Exhume back? Archimedes? Maybe? To put the Schulers underneath? It sounds good to me. If Devin wants to race, increase your Amber control. Yep, there he goes. Uses Archimedes to protect one of the Schulers. Reaps with Neferu. So this is an interesting choice. Interesting position for Nathan to be in. He has the ability to go back into Dis and just suicide his Schulers in if Devin plays anything. Suicide the first Schuler into anything big Devin plays, so he can get archived, and then do it again to the next one in line. So Devin needs to be a little careful here about playing, like, say, a 6-power creature. I don't recall any in his deck, but that could be something to consider here. Alright, plays Protect the Weak on Snufflegator, which he archived from Hidden Stash. Plays Sergeant Ezekiel to fight into Neferu and keep his... Snufflegator was going to live anyways. Plays a Mighty Lance to deal 3 damage to a creature and 3 damage to its neighbor, if I remember right. Yep. Alright, here we go. Devin's just like, first clear out the Neferu, start clearing out the board so Nathan can't just reap to race with him. Alright, so he draws into a bait and switch and a potion of invulnerability. Nathan forges his first key of the match. And he's probably pretty excited about that. Devin did give Nathan 2... he can kill one of his Shulers here. No, I take that back. He can't kill either of his Shulers here. So, it's unfortunate that game plan's not going to work out for him. Checks out his archives. I can't quite make out what's in there. I think there's an Abon the Grim. So going into Sanctum lets him taunt Devin by using his own Ezekiel against him. Picks up his archives, maybe? Looks at it one more time. Alright, so there's a Board and Redeem and an Abe the Grim. So that looks like a pretty good Sanctum turn. Plays Abe the Grim next to the Archimedes. Sounds good to me. Plays the Board and Redeemed. And an Orm of Gorm. Alright, Devin just looks at that. It's like Devin's best artifact in the deck is a Master Plan. So Devin now knows to not... I guess he has the Potion of Vulnerability, which won't be that useful here. Alright, so he uses the Grey Rider to fight the Shuler into either one, both creatures are the same. I guess he gets rid of the... Oh wait, so he can't fight there. There's Taunt. It's unfortunate, but not too big a deal. Thank you, whoever that was, for bringing up the deck list for Nathan. I'm really sorry I couldn't find a better way to do this for you guys. Alright, he finally finds his proclamation. What is Devin trying to do, though? I think he might have a Magda the Rat in hand. Does he care? He just needs bait and switch for 0. Magda the Rat steals 2. Or sorry, that's a Carlo Phantom. And that's it. I'm not sure how I got Magda, but I don't know, 4 power elusive creatures. 4 powers worth of elusive creatures. Alright, so Devin's plan is to go into Sanctum next turn and play his Potion of Vulnerability and Oath of Poverty. And Nathan is super happy that he doesn't have to worry about... He finally gets to play... He's super happy that he finally gets to play his Proclamation there. Reaps once with the Abon the Grim. Devin loses a point of captured Amber. Nathan goes up 1. Reaps with the Grey Rider, probably, or even fights with the Grey Rider, so that the Shuler has a fight target that can kill it. Gets archived. Great. Now the Grey Rider, maybe he's thinking about putting the Grey Rider back in the archives? I don't know. Board and Redeemed, reaps for 1, goes up to 5. Reaps for 1 with Ezekiel, goes back into check. Devin's not too worried. He's got a couple steal. He's got Relentless Whispers in his hand. At least one Lost in the Woods here. He's definitely looking at his Shadows cards. Another Nexus to come down, which would be super great if it could live to pop the Gorm of Worm that Nathan has to destroy the Proclamation. Alright, gets the Archimedes off the board with the Nerve Blast. Deals 1. Nathan's down to 5. Relentless Whispers, the Grey Rider. Not sure why the Grey Rider was pushed forward like that, but there it is. Gains 2 Amber from that. Nathan goes down to 4. Plays Nexus. reaps with Carlo Phantom. It calls it a turn. Yep. Looks like it's not quite enough for Devin to forge his second key. At least with the Nathan pointing towards his proclamation. So he's bought himself a turn here. Spirit's Way, Schuler, and I'm not sure what the third card is. But that's a little bit of an unfortunate archive here because Devin's board is just always going to be smaller than Nathan's, and that Spirit's Way probably should just been discarded instead of archived. Because how sometimes I like to use my archive as like an extra purge pile when I only have a couple archive cards, a couple waste archive cards, so I like archive it by the penny, and I'll just never have to draw into it again because I'll just never pick up my archive, or especially if you have the Mars guys. But with how much ability Nathan has to put stuff in his archive, putting cards that you'd never want to play realistically in the matchup into your archives just feels like a bad choice. Well, maybe he didn't think about. Maybe he knows something else maybe he probably knows something that I don't know. Spirit's Way to kill both of your Schulers next to an Igor or next to an Archimedes sounds pretty good. Just trying to think through this turn. What's he gonna do here? He really wants to pick up his archive. He really wants access to something in there. He wants the Schuler back. He goes into Dis, reaps for 1, Hecatomb, plays Schuler, play Hecatomb, gain 2 amber. Uses Gorm of Orm to... Oh, okay, that's a good choice. Uses Gorm of Orm to blow up his Finger Snap, which isn't that important, so Devin can't use his Gorm of Orm to destroy the proclamation. So Devin now needs to draw his own Gorm to answer it. He plays Pain Reaction on the Carlo Phantom, dealing 2 damage to each of its neighbors. Only 1 to the Snufflegator because it's armored due to the upgrade that's on it. Protect the weak. Plays a Yerk to discard a card and get a big creature out. I didn't quite see what he discarded. Oh, probably the Spirit's Way. That's a good way to deal with gummed up archives. Plays Schuler, steal 1, goes back up to 6. Schuler reaps. And that's Hecatomb comes down. Gains 3 amber. Look at this. Looks like Nathan's actually going to be the second one. The first one to forge their second key. Devin doesn't have very good options. He could try and play some creatures of his third house of Sanctum creatures and just hope they live through the turn to try and turn off Proclamation the fair way. Let's see. Devin's checking out Nathan's discard pile before he gets a chance to shuffle up and create a new deck for himself. Making sure he remembers all of Nathan's deck list. There's some debate in the chat on whether or not getting rid of the Gorm was a good idea. If it forced Devin to basically only reap with the Nexus. Doesn't matter. Devin goes into Untamed. Oh, so he's actually checking out Nathan's discard pile to see what he had inside of it so he can mimicry it. Not 100% sure what he mimicred there. But it was something to gain a bunch of amber. Reef with the Snufflegator. Plays the Full Moon. Plays an Ancient Bear. Goes up 1 more. He's going to forge for 2 extra because of the Proclamation. Double. Alright. Interesting choice to play the Lost in the Woods after you play your bear, but leaves everything but the Igor. Getting the Ezekiel back's not too bad. He's definitely going to need some more board control considering how many creatures Nathan has. Oh, and now that Nathan's deck is basically empty, it's just resetting It's going to take Nathan a couple turns, but he's definitely going to get all those creatures back right away. Same on Devin's side, so he's going to get the Snufflegator, Bear, and Zakiel back. Yeah, Brooks in the chat bringing up some expert next level strats of making sure if you're worried about your opponent using your artifacts against you with Nexus and remote access, sometimes it's better just to discard things like Cormorvorm or Mighty Javelin, anything that, or Nepenthe, any artifact with a sacrifice effect. Even like Gauntlet of Command or like Cannon, I discarded sometimes against Devin's decks. Devin, just so he can't blow up my important 2-power creatures with like a Poltergeist. All right, Nathan forges the second key of the game 2. Is this all? Is this what it takes to defeat Devin? Just a sweet AOA proclamation deck. All right, Nathan's checking out his discard pile. Probably with that Exhume, gonna get back the Gatekeeper. Yep, there it is. Captures all but 5. Oh boy, wow. Devin was sitting on a whole bunch of amber. I can't quite count how much that was. Devin might have been sitting on like 2 keys of amber right there. That's literally all Nathan did for his turn, but it's buying him the turns he needs. Devin does have a 3rd Lost in the Woods that's going to make short work of that, but he needs to wait until Nathan actually shuffles his deck so it doesn't come back super quick. Checking his deck list to make sure he's not missing something. Maybe trying to figure out what the last 2 or 3 cards in his deck is. Double check he didn't miscount something. He is looking for, I'm not sure what, Doorstep. He's probably not worried about that. Ooh, look at that. He's got a giant pilot card. So it's gonna take 2 turns to make sure he gets that last Lost in the Woods. What's he gonna do here? Oh, never mind. He's got it in his hand. Maybe he's trying to figure out. I'm not sure. Not sure what he was trying to find there. But okay, I see like 8 amber that was sitting on top of that Gatekeeper. Plus 5. That puts him at 13 amber. Jeez, plus 1 from the Lost in the Woods. Wow. 14 amber. Alright, what's he gonna do here? Play Snufflegator. Lost in the Woods a thing. Pass turn. Alright, draws back into his Bear and Zakiel that he put away just a turn ago. It's up to Nathan to find another answer. He does have turns. If he just generates 2 amber here and forces Devin to go into like shadows every turn, it might be good enough. Protect the Weak goes up to 5. For Abon the Armorsmith and Shield of Justice, he's at 6. All right. Devin, do you have any amber control in your hand? The answer is probably yes, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 amber, double check. Yep. Here we go. What can you do? Sigil of Brotherhood. Okay. Oh. Potion of Vulnerability. Great. Zakiel. Fight Abon. Can't fight Abon. There's Taunt. And Elusive. Well, fight happened. That sucks, but it is what it is. In terms of redress, there you go. That might be all the time he needs. All right. So the math was right. He was at 14. He gains 3 amber there. He goes up to 17. And he paid 8 for the last key, so he's sitting at 9 amber, which is 1 outside of what he needs to be safe. I don't remember how many Exhumes Nathan's played. You might have one left to go back to Gatekeeper. That's a good point. You can go back into Sanctum to use board into action to capture 2. Yep, here comes Gatekeeper. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 5 is 11 amber. Oh boy. Yeah, so Nathan is back in check. This is a close one. This is just going back and forth. He does have the Raiding Knight, but he doesn't really... I'm not sure. Playing Raiding Knight here makes his sigil better for a future turn if he can keep Nathan off again, but doesn't look like there's two... Alright, he does. He decides to go back, pulls him off of key. Ooh, Staunch Knight. I didn't see that one. Great. So he gets to draw 2 cards. Reaps up to 6. Not quite there. But drawing 2 cards here and having 3 creatures to reap with the following turn, provided Devin can get Nathan off key one more time. Ooh, Choda in his hand. That's awesome. That's exactly what he needs. Pop Sigil, reap 3 times. So he's at 6 amber right now. They'll put him up to 9. His keys cost 8. That's the exact amount that he needs. If he has any other... Nathan might not see the danger here. He might have forgotten. Maybe not. Who knows? He's at a Vault Tour. He's probably studied the game. He probably... One of the things everyone looks for is a steal, and the second thing everyone looks for is key cheats. He's probably aware that Devin has the Choda. So he's already played his key charge. There's only 2 cards left in Devin's deck. He has to have it. He hasn't seen it yet. He could always ask to see Devin's discard pile. Igor. Ooh, I wonder if he's digging for a Cutthroat Research. Oh, he only has 1 card to draw, looks like. Cutthroat wouldn't be good enough here. Devin's only at 6. Titan Librarian. Archive the top card of his discard pile. Titan Mechanic. Oh, you're playing a risky game here. Finger Snap. Goes up to 6. Oh, man. That's it. That's game. Devin has everything he needs, especially with that Titan Mechanic. That's unfortunate. Well, good job, Nathan. You played an excellent game this time around. It was a very exciting match. I enjoyed watching it. I can't wait to see. Hopefully we see you again in the future. If you guys enjoy watching Devin, be sure to come back tomorrow. Devin and I will be playing some more Keyforge in person. I'm not sure what the format is. We might be able to get some of his super secret sealed insight. He's now the... well, he has one of Vault Tour playing sealed. He also has won both local store champs that were 2-deck sealed survival. So, you know, he might know a thing or two, especially if you're trying to get some last-minute sealed practice in for the Vault Tour this weekend. If not, maybe he'll just help me practice for my own store champ that I'm going to this weekend. Or we'll just play Moral Worlds Collide. Who knows? But either way, that was a great game. Thank you so much, Nathan, for playing. Thank you, Devin. Thank you, everyone who put together this tournament. All of Yeti and everybody. And thank you for watching. Please stick around. Keep an eye on the channel for round 2 of the Vegas Vault Tour. That should be up shortly following this video. And have a good night.